para ma-start na natin. So, ayan. Ito yung lesson namin kanina. And also, nandito pa mga last sem na students ko. Ayan. So, kamusta na kayo? Hopefully nakaka-cope kayo sa sa lessons nyo. Ayan. And all the best sa preparation. And alam ko sobrang busy natin next week is may training kayo. And so, as I mentioned kanina sa class or sa mga students ko, make use of the time and yung AI training nyo is make it as a tool, 'di ba? Para makatulong sa sa inyong sa studies nyo. And sa dami na ginagawa natin, I think hopefully makatulong yung AI. Yeah. Okay, so our lesson today is shear reinforcement. Request nyo yan, di ba? Okay, so for RCD. And so we know that when we design reinforced concrete beam, we design for the beam is under simultaneous forces is under flexure, yung bending, and then shear, axial. Meron din siya axial and torsion. So, but for this lesson, the request nyo is under shear and torsion. Because yung torsion kasi is similar, yung shear and torsion, similar yung calculation niya. Kaya pwede siya usually combine. And so let's study. So I'm showing you this photograph of beam under testing. So it has a support, and may ito yung support encircle dito. And then ito yung loading. And if you would notice, there is a diagonal crack. Yeah, after subjecting it to a point load, it develops a diagonal crack. Ayan. So yung which is from the support going to the load. It's about 45 degrees, diba, yung diagonal crack niya. And for bending, yung longitudinal reinforcements, we know that the reinforced concrete have longitudinal reinforcement, but it counters bending moment at ito lang sa top and bottom. How about etong diagonal crack? So that is the purpose of providing shear reinforcement to prevent diagonal torsional crack, diagonal. So that's why yung stir ups is provided vertically. Yan, eto. Yung mga vertical reinforcement is for yung diagonal crack due to shear. So another type of beam failure is the shear failure. So to avoid shear failure, stir ups are provided to prevent concrete from splitting due to diagonal tensions. And so ito yung code provision. So this is wait. So may ko before I move to balik muna tayo sa ating So let us examine this shear failure, how this shear failure occurs. So this the image, right, illustrates the typical beam that failed due to shear. Notice that the crack is not vertical like a flexural crack. Instead, the crack forms diagonally from the support towards the loading point. So why does this happen? So when a beam is subjected to loading, it experiences both bending stress and shear stress. So the combination of these stresses create what we call principal tensile stresses inside the concrete. Concrete is strong in compression but weak in tension. So once these principal tensile stresses exceed the tensile strength of concrete, diagonal cracks begin to form. These cracks are called diagonal tension cracks. So without proper reinforcement, these cracks can rapidly propagate through the beam, causing sudden failure. So to prevent this, we provide a transverse reinforcement known as the stirrup. So transverse is the vertical reinforcement, and stirrup acts like steel ties that cross the diagonal cracks and hold the concrete together after cracking occurs. And so after we have determined these yung shear diagonal cracks, we should study where we should provide the reinforcement. So we have this critical section. So the critical section will determine where we should put or where we should check the shear. Okay, according to NSCP provision, the critical section for shear in non-pre-stressed beams is generally located at a distance equal to the effective depth D from the face of the support. Okay, so we have two provision, so 40.9.4.3.1 the BU is at the support and shall be permitted to be calculated at the face of the support. Okay, asan na ba? Teka lang. Meron ako sketch. Para mabilis. Gamitin ko na lang yung kaninang sketch ko para ay, pinago ko pala. Wait, hanapin ko siya ulit. Ito na lang. So, kasi matagal pag nag-drawing pa ako class. Baka hindi natin matapos. And may klase pa ako. Sabi, number 12. Wala. Teka lang, buksan ko siya ulit. Hindi ba 12? Okay. Wala. Ito tayo. Ayun. Okay, eto na. Okay. So, ito na yung face of the support. Ito nga. So, BU as this drawing, this illustration, this sketch is showing the beam and then the column here on this side. Ito yung column and then half lang ng half ng beam. So, this provision for 09.3.1 allows the BU to be at the face of the support. So, pwede na siya, we can calculate or use we can use the shear force, shear force at to design the the reinforcement at the face of the support. Ito siya. So, we can use this, or it can also the code also provides the provision that we can use we can calculate the VU at a distance D. So this is for 409.4.3.2, the section between the face of the support and the critical section located at D from the face of the support for non-pre-stress beam. And then for pre-stress, if you are doing pre-stress, it's H/2 from the face of the support and shall be permitted to be designed for BU at the critical section. So the critical section will be at the distance D. So where ito siya. So at the distance D. So if we draw the shear diagram, BU at the face of the support, the value will be higher, right? And then if you take the shear at a distance D, so the shear force that you will use to design your stirrups or to check the shear capacity of your beam will be lower. So you can have like a discount na. So mababawasan yung kailangan mong i-design. So that's why may provision doon. So you can use this provision provided you complied with all the three conditions. So what are the three conditions? Number one, the support reaction in the direction of applied shear introduces compression in the end region of the beam. So there's a compression. So if you have a column, it will provide a compression. And then letter B, the load are applied at or near the top surface of the beam. So if this ito yung condition ng this is the condition B. This one. Okay. So the load is applied at the top of the beam. If it's not, ito siya. So you will not we will not be able to use this provision. So you have to go back to point 1. So BU will be at the face of the support. And then the third condition is no concentrated load occurs between the face of the support and the critical section. So it is this one. Asan na? So eto siya. Okay, yung BU. Ayun. So there's no ito yung if there is a, let's say there's a point load. So for example, you have a point load here going down. Ayan. So if we have a point load, so there's a concentrated load, of course, between the face of the support and critical section. This is the critical section, from the face of the support to the distance. So if there is a point load here, meaning either you have a transfer column, or you have a secondary beam passing or connected to this beam, so you will not be able to use provision this point 2. Then you go back to point 1, which is the maximum shear force will be at the face of the support. That is what this means, this NSCP provision. And then okay, so for the shear reinforcement critical section, okay, tapos na yun. So as for shear reinforcement design, so concrete have a shear capacity. So concrete contribute to shear capacity, and then concrete itself have a significant shear resistance. So for non-pre-stressed member, the concrete shear capacity is calculated using this formula. Ito siya. This simplified formula, or this one. So this is the shear capacity of the concrete, which is 0.17 lambda square root of FC prime dWd. So lambda is for normal weight concrete is 1.0. So if it's lightweight concrete, you need to calculate. Teka lang, check ko anong provision. May provision siya sa sa NSCP, where you can calculate the lambda for lightweight concrete. Hindi ko yata nasulat dito.
Hello, Miss.
Yes.
Sa klase po namin, normal concrete lang po lagi. So 1.0 lang.
Normal lang din. Sige. So we leave it to 1.0, normal weight na lang. Okay, thanks Nicolo ba? Ayun.
Yes po.
Narciso, di ba? Si Narciso. Thanks. Okay. Unless a more detailed calculation is made in accordance with table. Ito pala. So, alin ang ginagamit nyo dito? Yung table 4.2.5.1 for VC.
Sabi ni Sir Frank, simplified lang daw.
Simplified na lang. Oo nga, ang dami. Kasi, okay, so simplified na nga lang din ng Ayan, etong ko lang. So, okay, so we will use this simplified calculation for BC. BC is the concrete shear strength, and then lambda is the lightweight concrete modification factor, which is 1.0 for normal weight concrete. FC prime is a specified compressive strength of concrete, and BW is the web width of beam, and D is the effective depth. And concrete consists of shear through or concrete resists shear through three primary mechanisms. First is aggregate interlock. So the rough surface of cracked concrete transfers forces through friction. So that's why meron siyang strength itong itong BC due to the concrete interlock. And then second is the dowel action. So the longitudinal reinforcing bars act like dowels that help transfer shear across cracks. So that will be the BS. And then third is the uncracked compression zone near the top of the beam, which continues to carry part of the shear reinforcement. And then so because of these mechanisms, concrete can resist a considerable amount of shear before stir-ups become necessary. So, however, so we have to design for it. Kaya later on, we need to, merong part na we have to calculate that yung critical, hindi siya critical, yung part na we have to design the stir-ups and then part which is minimum stir-ups, which is distance x after near the kasi pag tinignan, if you look at the shear diagram, you have maximum shear at the support and then it is decreasing and then zero at the midspan. That is for that is for what you call this simply supported uniformly distributed load. But if you have a point load, definitely you will have there will be a shear. Let's draw pagka other okay, let's study yung other because the shear force is or yung shear force sa beam is defined by the support condition and the loading. So dalawa yung kailangan mong i-determine. The support condition, either if it's fixed end or simply supported, and then or cantilever, and then uniformly distributed, and then point load. So if you have a point load, for example, we have a uniformly distributed or simply supported beam with a point load at the midspan, definitely meron kang So hindi na siya magsisiro. So yung shear diagram natin will be like this, right? Esa siya. So may ay zero. Ayan. Kasi parang curve kasi. Ayan, ito yung shear diagram. Okay, so meaning hindi siya zero at the at midspan. But we need to check. And then definitely if you have a point load, there be the shear at that the shear force at that or the shear stress at that location where your point load is, the shear stress will be higher because you have a concentrated load. And then in cantilever with cantilever beam with a uniformly with point load dito. Okay, so na siya. Pataas. So walang zero. Okay. So pagka so walang zero shear. So meron siya. So dito. Okay. So this is cantilever. The support is here only. With cantilever beam with point load P. Ayun yung P. So P is equal to ilan? P. Okay. Ito. If this is P, reaction here is P over 2. And then P over 2 reaction. And then B is equal to ilan? L over 2. P over 2. Diba? Ito P over 2. Or P over 2. What else ang kailangan natin? Okay, so that's it for analysis. And okay, then oh sorry. And then, so for the strength reduction factor in reinforced concrete design, we do not use theoretical capacities directly. Instead, we apply the strength reduction factor represented by the symbol phi. And for shear and torsion, phi is equal to 0.75. So this means that only 70% of the calculated shear capacity is considered reliable for design purpose. So why do we reduce the capacity? Because of uncertainties always exist in engineering practice. So these include variation in concrete strength. So we know that concrete, right, when you it's not like steel. When you purchase a steel section, if you specify 345, definitely the strength will be 345. For concrete, if you specify FC prime 21 or yung compressive strength niya, so it will vary because it's it's a mix. It will either you do a site mix or you order ready mix, and so there will be variation in concrete strength. And then construction tolerances, and the material imperfection, and some uncertainties in loading conditions. Then maximum shear strength. So the code provide limit for the shear strength BS. So it shall not be taken greater than 0.66 FC prime BWT. So what does this mean? So it's just that we can, if we, like for example, can we simply add more stir-ups whenever shear demand increases? So that means if the shear demand is, or if the shear capacity demand requires more than this value, we cannot just add shear reinforcement. So the code limits the maximum contribution of shear reinforcement according to this BS this value 0.66 FC prime BW. So this provision recognizes that concrete can eventually crash before the stir-ups reach their full capacity. So in other words, this is a practical limit to the amount of shear that a beam can safely resist. So if the required shear strength exceeds the code limits, so what the engineer should do is to consider either increasing the beam depth, or because if you notice, if you increase the beam depth, if it's the formula is directly proportional, right, to the BS capacity. So if you increase either concrete strength or beam width or either one of these three, it will increase the BS. So now. Okay, and then stir-up spacing limits. Okay, so we have this after determining the required stir-up area, we must establish the proper spacing. So for non-pre-stressed beam, NSCP specifies that the spacing is what? Okay, ito pala. So the spacing of shear, ang dami na-draw. Okay, so the spacing of shear should be D/2, and for non-pre-stressed member, Yeah. So for non-pre-stressed member, it should be D over 2. And for pre-stressed member is 0.75H or 600, whichever is smaller. So, this is the spacing. So why do we need to limit the spacing? So imagine a diagonal crack forming between two stirrups. If the stirrups are too far apart, the crack might grow and significantly before encountering reinforcement. So closer spacing means better crack control, improved shear resistance, increased ductility. So the code further requires reduced spacing when the shear demand becomes higher. So this provision where BS, if BS exceeds 0.33 square root of FC prime BWD, so the maximum spacing given in section 411.6.5.1 and 0.2 shall be reduced by 1/2. So if BS exceeds 0.33, so where shear reinforcement perpendicular to axis of member is used, BS is equal to, so we'll use this later. Maximum spacing. Saan ako? 4.11 ano? What else is ito nasa 12.5. Okay. So for this this part 4.11.6.5, there are 3 conditions. So let's see. Ito pala siya. So ito yung 3 conditions. Ito. Okay, so I've written here. So yung 4.11.6.5, first is if BS is less than 0.33 FC prime BWD, S should be less than D over 2 or 600. And then if BS is greater than 0.33 FC prime BWD, S is should be less than D over 4 or 300. And then you can also check S if the spacing equals to AB FYT. So this is the strength of tensile strength of the links or the stirrup, and then D over BS. So to get the area of the shear, it should be 2 times the area of the or the diameter, stirrup diameter. So 2 times pi over 4, 10. If the stirrup diameter is 10, so it will be 10 squared. AB will be 2 times area of the 10 mm diameter stirrup. Okay. Okay, provision for 421.5.2 is an earthquake provision and provide the minimum stirrup spacing. So first is it should not the maximum spacing of the hoop should not exceed. So maximum spacing should not exceed D over 4. So yung effective depth over 4 or 8 times the diameter of the smallest longitudinal bars. So this longitudinal bars is your either compression or tension reinforcement, the horizontal reinforcement. And then 24 times the diameter of the hoop bars or the stirrup, and then or 300, whichever is smaller. And then this spacing, we can use this formula, just use S, put S on top and then BS below, then we can compute the minimum space or maximum spacing, and then choose the least value. Okay. And so let's go let's answer this example. So we have a 5.2 meter span, simply supported beam, has a clear span of 4.80 meter and carries a uniformly distributed dead load and live load. So the dead load is 65 kilonewton and then the live load is 55 kilonewton per meter. And it's a simply supported with 5.2 span, clear span is 4.8. And the dimension of the beam section and steel reinforcement are shown. So it's a 350 width and then height is a 650. We have 228 diameter for the compression reinforcement. Tension reinforcement is 432 mm diameter. And design the necessary spacing of shear reinforcement if FC prime is equal to 21 megapascal, Fy is equal to 415, concrete cover 61.5, and stir-ups diameter is 10 mm. So the first step that we need to do is to determine the reaction and then compute the shear force at the base of the support. And then since this is the loading, we can see that the loading is on top of the beam, and we don't have a point load on the critical section. Then we can use the provision BU at distance D from the base of the support. So let's compute. I'll just use na lang din ito. Ito na, na-complete na namin siya kanina. Saan ito? Ito. So this is the, center to center, space is 5.2. So clear span is 4.8. So calculate the ultimate load, 1.2 factor for dead load and 1.6 for live load. Then we will get the total ultimate WU 166 kilonewton per meter, and then compute since it's symmetrical, we can just multiply by the length divided by 2 using 4.8 because we're taking the BU at the face of the support. So this is the face of the support, and which is equal to BU is equal to 398.4. So that will be and then compute the shear at the BU at the distance D. So using a similar triangle, we have the BU, the value BU 398.4 over 2.4. Because it's a simply supported uniformly distributed load, we know that at the mid span it will be the shear is zero at the mid span. So we can just take this triangle to design to calculate this part BU at distance D. So then 2.4 minus D, and then we will obtain the value of the shear BU, the ultimate shear force that we will use for the design is 305.025 kilonewton. This will be kilonewton. Okay, wait. Kilonewton. Okay, then I have the calculation here also. Oops. Ito pa yung check shear capacity. 4.8. Okay, so then first is we also need to determine the effective depth. So the effective depth is the distance of the from the topmost compression fiber of the concrete to the center of the tension reinforcement. Okay, so effective depth D is equal to H minus concrete cover minus the diameter of stir-ups minus diameter of the main rebar over 2. So it will be, because concrete cover is 61.5. So D is equal to 562.5. And then, I mentioned that this earlier. And then this is RU. And then factor shear at critical. So then compute the shear capacity. Okay, step 5, compute the concrete shear capacity, which BC is equal to 0.17 times lambda. Lambda is 1.0. Square root of FC prime 21 BW 350 by 562.5, and then BC is equal to 153.353. So then step 6, so check the concrete capacity. Then if you have the you have BC, and then so multiply by 0.752, because this is nominal, so we usually use or multiply by reduction factor the shear capacity, so it will be 0.75 times BC. And then since BC is greater than since BU is greater than PBC, so we need to provide the reinforcement, because this BU is from the load, and this is the capacity of your concrete. So if you plot it into the, if you plot this PVC in the shear diagram, it will be this. Okay, so you taking half of the shear diagram, PVC is this dot, and then it's equal to 115, and then BU at D is equal to this 305. So it means that this part of the beam we can provide minimum, and then this X distance we have to provide the shear reinforcement, and which we will compute later on. So that's why we need to compute first the PVC. This is the meaning this PVC is the capacity, as I mentioned, right? Concrete has a shear capacity, so the concrete can contribute into the shear strength of the shear resistance. So we can provide minimum reinforcement here, and then only at this part, then we will provide the check the shear reinforcement based on BS. Okay, so by similar triangle, we can calculate these critical span ba tayo? Ito na. Di pa pala. So, yun na. So, as I mentioned na lang kanina, so we need to calculate the shear capacity of the stirrups first. So, first check the code requirement, BS capacity. So, this is the limit that you will provide for your stirrup. So, if BS, your required BS is greater than this, we need to revise the section. As you can see in this equation, if you increase the concrete capacity or FC prime or BW, you will be able to increase this value. But for now, we check first using this section, the BS capacity, the limit of BS is 595.448 kilonewton. And then using so this is based on the loading of BU, and then PVC is the concrete capacity. Then we will be able to determine the PBS, which is the reinforced the strength of the links that you require. So BS will so to calculate BS, so you just subtract the concrete capacity from the computed BU, which is we use the value of BU at distance D from the support, and then we will have BS. So BS, since this BS 253.325 is less than the B capacity, therefore the section is adequate, we can proceed, and this will be this is what we will use to obtain the spacing of the stirrups. And then note, if BS, okay, so if BS is greater than B capacity, the size is inadequate. So as I mentioned earlier, we can increase either one of these three. And then critical span. So next is we have there. So we can calculate, after we have obtained BS, we can calculate the critical span, which is at this distance. Okay. Saan ang distance na yun? Ayan, dito. So this is our critical span. This is where we need to provide the reinforcement. Okay. So, step 9 is spacing with the, not yet. Sorry. Step 8 first. Calculate the critical span. So, by similar triangle, using because we know that the BU at the base of the support is 398.4, and then the span is, the length of this is half of 4.8, because it's what do you call this, symmetrical, right? So if you have a point load, you need to calculate that. So if the shear, it depends on your shear diagram. You need to before you can solve this any shear reinforcement requirement, you need to solve for or draw the shear diagram. And then what else? So once you calculate using the similar triangle principle, so 2.4, and then this is your PVC 115.3, then 2.4 minus x, so x will be 1705. So another provision in the code is x should be 2 times h, or the total height, which is 2 times 650. So choose the higher value, which is 1700. Okay, so then this spacing will be 1/7. And then step 9, okay, compute so since we already have we know the length of the critical span, then we can calculate the spacing within the within the length x. So using seismic provision, the spacing should be d over 4, so 562.5 over 4, so, and then or 8 times the diameter of the main reinforcement, either the compression or the tension reinforcement, or the least value, which is 28. Okay, so, and then 24 times the stirrup diameter, so 240. And then using this formula ABFY/TD over BS, then we can compute the required spacing, and then choose the lowest value. So this one will go for 140. Then just yeah. So we can use we have to choose the lowest value, 140, and then calculate the the number of links at this. So based on the code provision, we have to provide the first reinforcement at a distance 50 mm from the support edge. That's why I have this. So this is so if this is your beam, the first reinforcement is a distance 50 mm from the base of the support, and then this will be the x, and then from here to the center is the minimum minimum shear reinforcement. And so to calculate, the n is equal to x, yung 1707 minus 50, and then spacing over spacing, so the number is 11.8, and so just round off to 12 numbers, because if it's you cannot provide this the fraction, right? Fraction of a reinforcement. So it should always be a whole number for the number of reinforcement. And then step 10, spacing beyond x. So for spacing beyond x, we can use the minimum reinforcement provision for NSCP 411 point, ano siya? Teka lang, ano ba siya?
Miss, excuse lang po.
Yes.
Sa class po namin, hanggang critical section lang po talaga yung spacing. So
Hanggang
kahit hindi
critical.
na po yung sa gitna.
Sa alin? Hindi na sa minimum? Hindi niyo naki-compute. Oo nga ang haba. Ang tagal. Okay, so actually hindi siya hindi siya practical to compute. Papakita ko. Pero turo ko lang din na meron siyang provision. But actually hindi na, kasi later on papakita ko sa inyo yung calculation, which is d over 2 lang din yung nag-govern. Okay. Asa na siya? So yun na nga. So yung provision na yun is mahabang calculation. Ayun, asan? Ito siya. So, yung beyond X, di ba, ito yung AV, FYT. So, when I compute earlier, and then this one govern, so I was like, oh no. Di ba, pagka compute mo pa siya, yung 411, asa na yung provision 411. Anyway, 411, ito pa siya. Oo, ito siya, yung 0.33, di ba? So anyway, if yan, usually, actually, tumataas lang yung share yung share if you have point load. And then you will have point load if you have a transfer. If it's uniformly distributed load from slab, hindi ganun kalaki yung niya. Ang magiging significant lang talaga yung share is, number one, meron kang transfer column, point load, and then or may secondary beam ka na heavily loaded or cantilever. Saan tayo? Ayan. And so minimum reinforcement is D over 2. So which is D natin is 562, so 280. So round off lang. So in summary, okay, so now we have provided, we have calculated the minimum reinforcement at the critical section, and then at the beyond X. So use 10 mm stirrup space at 50 yung first, and then 12 numbers of 140, 180 ba? So you just compute, and then the rest is 280. So you just summarize, and then this is your beam. This longitudinal reinforcement is for your flexure or bending moment, and then the shear is of the vertical stirrups. So this is the summary. Ano pa tayo? Uy, meron pang oras para sa torsion. May question or clarification? Then I'll proceed with, kung wala naman, you just message me kung meron kayong question and clarification. Message nyo na lang ako. Okay, so another type of failure in beam is torsion. It's similar to the calculation is similar to shear, and then how we what do you call this? The stirrups are distributed over the length of the beam, considering the magnitude of the shear stress coming from the external loading. So the concept of torsion is similar to shear. Torsion in beam occurs when so when there's a twisting, diba? So this diagram or the photographs will show us some situation where there will be torsion. Where is my mouse? Ayan. Increase. Ayan. Okay, so number one, first is if it's a cantilever with the eccentrically applied load. So there will be, because you have this cantilever, and then yun na nga, first pala. So define muna pala natin yung yung torsion. So when we hear the word torsion, think of twisting. The torsion occurs when a structural member is subjected to a moment that causes it to rotate about its longitudinal axis. So unlike flexure, which bends the beam. So torsion, twist. So di ba pag let's draw some what is torsion? So if it's a moment, di ba magbe-bend siya, bend, ayan, kaya siya tinawag na bending moment. If it's torsion, usually kasi ito nasa well, the load is eccentric. It's not at the centroid, or either pag may slab, you have a slab on one side and there's no slab on the other side. So this slab, the loading here, will tend to twist the beam. Okay, I did pala. So yung bending, ang moment niya is this direction, di ba? Pag ganyan. Pagka naman torsion, the direction of the moment is this direction. It will twist the beam. So torsion is particularly important because it can produce brittle failure or not, if not properly accounted for in the design. The beam will usually designed for bending and shear. Then certain structural configuration require special torsion reinforcement. So these are the examples. Number one is a cantilever, and then for usually we have this structure for bridge. So the section through a beam supporting a precast floor slabs. So if the load here is higher than this side, or load A is higher than B, so there will be twisting towards load A. So there will be we need to provide torsion reinforcement, or we need to check the torsion capacity of the beam to account for the torsion. And then ano pa? Wait. Ay, wala. Ito pa. So another one is if you have a canopy like this, is a cantilever. So this cantilever canopy produce the load here will tend to twist this beam. And so what? So torsion in a member subjected to torsion, a torsional moment causes shearing stress on cross-sectional planes and on radial planes extending from the axis of the member to the surface. So ito siya. So for circular shaft, so the stress distribution in a circular bar is like this. And naalala nyo yung torsional stress is T torsion times rho over J, di ba? And then the stress distribution in a square bar is like this. Ito yung stress torsion distribution niya. And so beam subjected to torsional moment, if it's shear stresses, this one, ito ba isa? Okay, so if there's a torsion, so it will cause this cracking. So it's not one dimensional. So 3D siya. So from the bottom, kasi di ba, if here is fixed and then there's a resistance in this side. So the shear the torsional stress is from one side. So it goes to 3, and how many? 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. So it rotates. So it can cause this crack. And ito. Okay, so torque twist curve for a rectangular beam. Explanation ba dito? Torsional strength of solid and hollow section with the same twist beam. Angle of twist. Saan na angle of twist? Dito pala. Applying. Okay. So this graph, the torque twist curve for rectangular beam. So this graph shows the relationship between applied torque and the angle of twist. Initially, the beam behaves elastically. So this is straight line and yung slope niya is straight line. And then this is called the uncracked stage. As the torque increases, the concrete eventually cracks. So once nag-crack na siya, at the cracking stage, stiffness suddenly decreases because the concrete can no longer effectively resist tensile stresses. So after cracking, reinforcement becomes the primary load resisting component. So the beam can still carry additional torque, but larger deformation occurs. And the important lesson here is that after cracking, the steel reinforcement controls torsional strength. So that's why we need to provide if there is torsion. So we need to provide torsional reinforcement. And then so the research has shown that interesting behavior between solid and hollow sections. So before cracking, solid sections have higher torsional resistance because they contain more concrete. So after cracking, both solid and hollow sections exhibit similar behavior. So what is the reason? It's because after cracking, reinforcement becomes the primary resisting element. The concrete contributes very little to torsional resistance. So this observation forms the basis of the space truss analogy used in modern torsional design. And so we have a threshold torsion. So NSCP recognized that small amount of torsion may be safely resisted by concrete alone. So this limit is called the torsion threshold. And so if the applied torsion is less than the threshold value, which is the TU, okay, so TU is less than the threshold. So the threshold value. TU is ito yung threshold for non-pre-stress member. Threshold is ito, phi times lambda square root of FC prime A squared CP over 12 PCP. So yun yung area, and then ito is perimeter. So if the applied torsion is less than the threshold values, the torsion effects may be neglected. In such cases, additional torsional reinforcement is not required. So we need to check. So this provision simplifies design because not every beam experiencing minor torsion needs special detailing. So always perform this check first before proceeding with the torsion design. And this is the beam. To calculate the threshold torsion, two geometric properties are required. So ACP is the area enclosed by the outside perimeter of the concrete section. ACP. Basta yung ACP. Meron ba ako dito? And then, for rectangular beam, ACP is equal to B times H, and then PCP is the outside perimeter of the section, and for rectangular beam, PCP is equal to 2B plus H. So if the beam is cast monolithically with the slab, a portion of the slab flange may be included according to the code provision. So we can include this. The effective overhang will be less than H minus HF. So H is the total height minus HF yung thickness ng slab, or should be less than 4 times HF, or thickness of the slab. And then critical section for torsion. Oops. And so critical section for torsion, just like shear torsion has a critical section. So for non-pre-stress members, torsion is evaluated at a distance D from the face of support. And then this provision ensures that the cause or the most critical location is always investigated. So always examine the torsion diagram before beginning the design. Before calculating reinforcement, we must verify at torsion to reduce unsightly crack. Okay. Verify the beam dimensions are adequate. So the NSCP provide section. Ito ba yun? Or NSCP provides a section adequacy equation that combines shear and torsion effects. So the check ensures that excessive cracking is avoided, concrete crashing does not occur, and the beam dimensions are sufficient. So if the requirement is not satisfied, increasing reinforcement alone is not enough. So the beam dimension must be increased. This is an important distinction that students or that we need that sometimes is overlooked. Torsional strength. Okay, so torsional strength equation, the requirement is so this is the formula for torsional moment strength. And ano pa? Longitudinal torsional. Reinforcement. So, this is the longitudinal torsional reinforcement. So the torsion requires not only stirrups but also longitudinal bars. So this, so we need to check also if so here we also need to check the not only stirrups but also longitudinal bars. So these bars, this is longitudinal tensile forces generated by the twisting action. So without longitudinal reinforcement, cracks widen rapidly, the torsional truss mechanism becomes incomplete, and then failure may occur prematurely. So always remember to torsion requires both transverse and longitudinal reinforcement. Okay. And so let's go the example na. So this the additional longitudinal reinforcement equation. Okay, so let's let's solve this example. Spacing of torsion reinforcement. The spacing of transverse torsion reinforcement shall not exceed the smaller of pH over 8 or 300 mm. Then the longitudinal bar or tendon shall be inside the stirrups with a maximum spacing of 300 mm. There shall be at least one longitudinal bar or tendon in each of the stirrup. Longitudinal bars shall have a diameter of at least 1/24 times the stirrup spacing, but not less than 10 mm. And torsional reinforcement shall be provided for a distance of at least BT plus D beyond the point required by analysis, and BD is equal to the width of that part of cross-section containing the closed stirrups resisting torsion. Okay, so this example, the one-way slab system shown supports a total dead load of 8 kPa. The dead load is 8 kPa and a live load of 6 kPa. So design, saan na ba ito? Okay, meron siya. So may calculation na siya. So design asan na to? Design the beam KL. So this beam KL. Design this beam KL for torsion using FC prime is equal to 28 MPa and then 10 mm for the stirrups. Then for the main diameter or main reinforcement diameter is 20. Concrete covers 40 mm. Then use approximate analysis. So, and then column is 500 mm by 500 mm. Then beam is 300 by 500 mm. Slab is 100 mm thick. And the unit weight of a concrete is 24 kilonewton per cubic meter. So let's compute. So let's analyze it as using first as is use approximate analysis, and then using the 1 meter strip. So first analyze the beam, or calculate first the loading. 24 times 8 uniformly distributed. 3.7. 8 is the times 6 WL squared over 6. Okay, so let's go back to this as an plan. Okay, so this is since yung beam is 300, the dimension is at center to center, and then column is 500. So this beam is 300. And the beam is 300 mm width. So we can compute Ln. The clear span is 2.7, and then based on to here, using the approximate analysis, moment is equal to it's because it's at the end end support pa siya. One description niya. Okay, let's open yung approximate analysis. Find the approximate. Okay, so using the approximate analysis, interior face of exterior support the member built integrally with the supporting spandrel beam. So since it's a spandrel beam, it's moment is equal to, and it's at the end, and it's a negative moment. So WL squared eta siya. So we will use this formula, WL squared over 24. Okay, using this formula for a spandrel beam siya. Okay, that's a torsion. Okay, so WL squared over 24. So W is equal to 1.2. So factor the dead load, 1.2 times 8 plus 1.6 live load times 2.7 the L squared over 24. So we will get 5.8. So we analyze it as a per meter run. So this beam will have a 5.832 kilonewton meter per meter. So every 1 meter there will be because we analyze it as a 1 meter strip load. TK equal siya, diba? TK over. So there's no change in so TK is equal to TL, which is 5.832 times 6.5 over 2. Ayan. So that's the formula for the torsion. And then calculate the critical torque TU. So same as same in what do you call this shear. We can use the similar triangle. TU is at the distance D from the base of the support, which is ito siya, no? 18. So okay, so D is equal to or we can calculate TU is equal to 16. So if it's at TU at the base of the support, or at the distance D from the base of support, that will be your DU. Then threshold torsion using this formula, VTC is equal to V 0.75. We know that is then lambda square root of FC prime A squared or ACP squared over PCP. So ACP is equal to yung 700 ACP 190 700 times 100 plus 400 plus times 300. Ito na siya. So yung ACP area ng 700. Ito kasi yung first 700. This is 700. This whole length is 700 times 100, and then 400 times 300. Okay. Then so it will include yung overhang na slab, yung ACP, and PCP is equal to, just take the perimeter, and then so we can, based on this formula, we can calculate the threshold torsion. So this will be the torsion capacity of the concrete. So if TU na compute at 16, so we need to consider torsion. We need to compute. So check the size of the section first. So using approximate, ito na lang. BU. How do we calculate the BL? So kung meron na TU is 16. Ito 23.2 BL. And is 2. So let's check the size of the section. WU is equal to ito. We need to include the dead load of the 0.5. So this is the given load plus the dead load of the beam. Yeah, that's why W will be the dead load is 1.2 times 0.3 times 0.5 times 24. So multiply for dead load, the factor is 1.2. So the W will be 33.12, and then shear is WL over 2. So that will be the shear here at the support. and then the other side is 1, 1. Using ano din, using kasi ano to approximate analysis. Nasaan na ba yung ano? I'm sorry. Using approximate analysis. Ito siya, di ba? So, we will have kasi na yun? For shear. Okay, so the shear is if it's at the exterior face of first interior support, 1.15 WU ln over 2. If it's other supports, WLN over 2. So first is the first interior face of the first interior support. Interior face of the first interior support. So, interior face. Ito pa siya. Shear. Okay, so interior face. Ayan. So, yung 1.15 since saan siya? 1.15 dito, no? So, first interior face of the exterior face of the first interior support. Exterior face of the first exterior support. Okay, so ito siya. So, WK 1.15 over 2. And then the other will be over 2 lang siya. So since then we can calculate X and then BU as in BU. We have BU. Hindi ba siya BU is equal to 1, 2, 3 over ito 3, 4, 7, 7 minus the distance D. Okay, so it's at a distance D. Kaya same as sa shear, it will be as wala kasi dito, drawing ko na lang. So asa na yung minus 440. D is 440 din. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this will be the BU at the distance D. 377. 3477 minus 440. And then check the size of the section. So using this formula, BU over BW over D square plus TUP, let's just substitute. So OH, you can calculate the OH using minus so minus this is 10, this is 45. Okay. So this distance will be 45 because concrete cover is 40. And then centroid of the reinforcement. Okay, wait. I'll draw. Should be to calculate the AOH. So we have to get the centroid here. This centroid. So the concrete cover is 40. Then the links is 10. So this distance is 45. So this will be 45. So if it's 500, so we get 90 minus 500 because is symmetrical. Here is also 45, so it will be 410. And then on the side is also the same. So 300 minus 90, so 210. So the area OH is 210 times 410, and then the perimeter, just add add the length of the sides, and then we can calculate BC, and should be equal to 0.17. So we can calculate BC and then substitute the value here. So we can see that this value is or the torsion is less than the shear capacity. So so the size is adequate. And then the area of stirrups for torsion, area of stirrups. So this is the formula that we will use. Then cotangent theta will be 45 degrees. Cotangent theta. Theta is 45 degrees. 80 over S. 80 over S. So this is the area of tensile or torsion over spacing. Torsion rebar. Area torsion over spacing. And then area of main bars for torsion. Teka lang, balikan natin yung 80. Meron dito kanina. Spacing. Ito pala. 80. Additional longitudinal reinforcement for AL siya. AL. So this section, this formula, cotangent square. Okay, so where's is saan tayo? AL. So additional longitudinal reinforcement area. So this is what we need to add. And then minimum is check the minimum. So since minimum is higher, so you use the longitudinal area, additional longitudinal area. Okay, so that is the AL minimum. Na-complete ba yung ano? So this is for the additional, this is the area of stirrups for torsion, 80 over S. So you can, if you have how do we know how, since ang given is we can just assign which what they call this if we know the area of if we just substitute the multiply it by the area of that stirrup for torsion, then we would know the spacing. Or you can use the table if you have the table. Wait, do I have the table? Let me check if I have a table here for this. Kasi right now. Design. Sana meron. Sana yung work. Okay. Okay. So if we know, because we know the spacing, dito. Ayan. So stirrups, if it's ilan yun? 0.371. So we can use this table. If you have this table. Ay, sorry. Nasa na? Wala. Ayan. 0.371. Ang kailangan. Okay. So 0.3 lang naman siya. So you can use minimum pala. If it's a 10 mm diameter, because this is a ASB over spacing. So if we're using 10 mm pala. So the ABSB is 0.523. So it's still greater than so you can use 10 mm diameter with the 300 mm spacing. Or if you want to be exact, 0.3 6 mm diameter with a spacing of 175. So it will be safe. Kasi 3 point Hanggang yung 3.71. Tapos ang pala, yung 75 is 0.321. So, you can use, lagyan natin dito, 6 mm, additional 6 mm spacing of, so this, you can use 6 mm, spacing is 175 mm. Or, you just multiply. Or we can, this spacing S is equal to yung area 80, so 6 mm square times pi divided by 4, tapos divide natin ng 0.371, ay not 70, 75 pa, 75, 80, 6 square times pi divided by 4 equals 28 divided by 0.371. 75 times 1,000 per 1,000. Okay. And then, ano pa? And then the final answer for the additional longitudinal reinforcement is 549.38 mm. So that's it. You have any questions?
Ay, miss, ano na po ang spacing?
Sorry?
Ano yung nakuha na pong spacing?
Dun sa teka lang eto. Kasi meron akong table. Ginamitan ko siya ng table. Etong table na to. Kasi varying spacing for para makuha mo. Kailangan mo yata siya teka lang. Para makuha yung 175. 3.28. Multiply mo siya sa per 1 SB spacing. Diameter. Teka lang. Paano nga makuha yung ASB kasi siya. ASB. 2 times. Okay. So, yung ASB mo is 6. 2 times kasi siya. Times 2. 175. 6 square times pi divided by 4 times 2 divided by 0.325. Ayun. So, para makuha mo yung okay. Para makuha mo yung spacing for this, pagka ganito yung nakuha, if it's 80, kasi this 80 area ng torsion reinforcement is di ba? Same as sa shear, which is 2 times times pi, ano pa pi? Wala kung 2 times ng area, diameter, na lang. 2 times, or let's say 10 mm yung links times, lagay ko na lang yung pi na word kasi hindi ko makita yun, times pi, 10 squared over 4, di ba? Over 4, 10 squared, then divided by 4. Yun yung area ng torsion stirrups over 4 times 2. And then, para makuha mo yung spacing, ano ba? Divide pa siya. Divided by 0.371. Yan. So, then equals, so S pala, S. Kasi S, ayan, S is equal to, ayan. Natin, compute natin. Using, ito using, 10 mm. Yung kanina kasi 6 mm ang ginamit ko eh. 10 mm, anong spacing mo? So, it will be 2 times 10 squared times pi. Okay. So, 10 squared times pi times 2 times 2 na lang. And then, times equals divided by 0.3371. Ang laki, 1/6. Ang laki ng spacing na kailangan. Kasi so mababa lang naman kasi yung yung torsion, 1693.58 mm na spacing. So masyadong malaki So gamitan natin ng mas maliit na na yung 6 mm.
I miss divide at dapat hindi multiply.
Divide pupunta siya sa ilalim eh. Pagka
Kasi is 400.
Pagka ano gamit? 10 mm?
Yes po.
10 mm. 400. Two times pag dinivide mo siya, divide siya, di ba?
Yes po.
Okay. So, yun. Teka lang. Complete ko nga ulit. 10 square times 2. Times, hindi ko na times sa pi. Divided by 6.37. Okay. Divided by 2. 6 mm ang ginamit mo. 6 mm ba?
10 mm po.
10 mm. 10 mm. Divided by 4 times 2 divided by 0.371. Ayun, 423, no? Ayun pala, 423. So, pwede naman pala siya. 423 pagka 10 mm. Pero masyado pa rin siyang malayo, di ba? Kasi ang beam natin is ilan ba? 400, minimum kasi d over 2 di ba? Yung links. So, pagka 2, 3, yan pala. So, 423. So, pwedeng 420. Tapos, kung 6 mm ang gagamitin natin. Sana. 6 mm. 6 squared times 4 divided by 0.371. 152. So, yun. Pagka pala is 152. Pag 6 mm, 152. 150 or 150. Ayan. Okay, so that's it for torsion calculation. And then dito is ito na yung i-add natin. Okay, so that's it. 4 o'clock. Tas yung review tawag dito yung pwede kong send yung send ko na lang kay Mr. Narciso yung mga calculations kasi hindi siya maayos yung dito eh. Yung meron akong yung sa shear send ko yung tinatapos ko pa tong i-add ko lang nasa document. Yan, in document format. I-add ko lang yan. Send ko kay Narciso later yung mga calculations at saka itong mga itong notes sa RCD. Yan na. Okay, that's all. That's it. Thanks for staying sa so hopefully magamit niyo siya sa final exam and may natutunan kayo today. Ayun.
Okay po, Miss. Thank you.
Thank you.
For
so,
the discussion.
Yeah, thank you sa ACES for conducting this tutorial. So hopefully next time makita ko ulit kayo. Okay. Thank you. May klase kasi ako sa meron na kami sa steel naman.
Sige po, like
Okay,
5 minutes
bye.
lang, Miss, i-present lang po namin yung
Ay,
certificate of
sige.
appreciation. And, sige, another virtual round of applause for Engineer Aquino, please. And so thank you again, Miss.